So tonight I was going to talk about herbs for skin because that was like how I got into herbs because of my skin, basically. I had super sensitive skin. Like, that's how I would describe it. I had eczema, like, terribly, always, from when I was young. And in my 20s, like, I had horrible yeast infections. And I could not use the creams that they gave me. That I just said my skin was, like, so sensitive. It was, like, burning on fire, like, if I used the cream from the doctor. And I was at the gynecologist, and I said, probably shouldn't, this is private for me to share, but like, isn't there anything else I can do? And they're like, no, just some women have this, and that's just, you just deal with it. And I was like, that is not an answer. And I was like 20 or something. Mm-hmm. And I just knew, like, there is no way that is, like, the answer. So I found an herbalist because I worked at an herb shop, and I went to her. She gave me a golden seal and echinacea, and I never had a yeast infection again. But anyway, that was like the beginning of like my journey for like skin stuff, and I still had like other skin things going on, and I wanted it to go away, mostly itchy skin things. But like, I had really bad acne at one point. Like in college, it was like, not college, high school was like somewhat, then college got like terrible, like cystic, for a period, like a year or so, but it cleared up then, and I didn't know exactly why, but I think it was because I started to change things. Now I can tell you why, but at the time I didn't know why. Like, why am I like breaking out so bad? So let's talk about what makes your skin good. So most people, I think, look at skin as like this outside topical thing, and just like, you know, it's all about what we're putting, and it is important, like what we put on our skin, but we're always trying to like enhance our skin or like cover it with makeup, and just looking at it as like this external thing, I guess. But it really, like, good skin, and maybe I don't have the best, like, mine could be better. But skin is really from the inside out. So it's a matter of, like, how clean or strong your inside body is will reflect on the outside. And so the main organ is liver, and then also your bloodstream. So I'm going to share like some topical things that I do, and then some internal things that I do for skin. I cannot to this day really use any like makeup on my skin without it like making me feel itchy or uncomfortable.
Did you ever try like doing all natural?
I've tried tons.
I know you messaged us a couple months ago.
Yeah. I right now, believe it or not, and it is not all natural. I've tried like so many brands, and like most of the time you have to buy it. You can't really like try it. So I'm like, I don't want to just keep spending money to figure out what works.
Right.
But believe it or not, I do have some Clinique, and it is not all natural. And I don't like to use anything that has chemicals, but it seems to be like the only thing that I can use, like, and only sometimes. Like, I do not wear makeup regularly. That doesn't make my skin like feel irritated. So because I'm like super sensitive to like makeup and what I put on my skin, I like got really serious about like my inside, because I wanted my skin to look really great and fresh, but I'm not able to just put makeup on to make it look that way. So it became like, all right, I have to like figure this out. So first thing is, like, I know when you would get your period, they'd say like, oh, you know, it's not chocolate, or it's not, you know, I guess when I got mine anyway, like I remember hearing like what you ate didn't really affect your skin, like, but it does. It does cause
a lot of ice cream lately.
Yeah, it does cause pimples.
Yeah.
So
Sugar,
like what you're eating really, really matters as to the condition of your skin. And like the breakouts that you would get, like at your moon cycle are basically your liver is, if it's full of toxins and your cycle starts and you have like this extra hormones pumping in through your liver, it's going to dump those toxins into the bloodstream so it can handle the hormones, and then you get breakouts at your period. So,
and side note, like, I swear for me personally, I gave up coffee, and I feel like right now I'm going through a lot of stress and with the ice cream, but like I feel like my skin has come a long way from even just giving that up a couple months ago and switching to tea and stuff. So it's interesting how the nutrients, like you're saying, and cleansing that out, it really does help.
I can definitely see that with your skin, but that would make sense because your kidneys, your liver and your kidneys are filtering toxins. So coffee, when you drink coffee on a regular basis, and if you have more than a few cups a day, is going to stress your kidneys. So you're not going to filter out toxins as easily. So by giving that up, drinking lots of water, herbal teas, that's going to make your skin better too.
Soda is a big one.
Oh my gosh.
I haven't drank soda in years. Because as soon as I drink it, like the next day, my whole face will just be all broken out.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
There are certain things, it's funny, my mom always says that. She's like, I can eat Oreos, but I can't drink a soda. If I drink soda, I get breakouts. My dad's the opposite. Like, there's certain triggers for them. So, that's
Sugar trigger.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And whatever else is in that stuff,
Yeah, got my nose.
I know. Scary.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I feel like I've come a long way with my skin. Like, I used to break out pretty bad, like right before my period. And then it would take like almost the whole rest of the month to like clear up by the time my period would come back. Then you break out again. So now I'm like, maybe I'll get like a little pimple or something right before.
Your skin's great.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Like, it's fabulous. Like,
well,
talk yourself up. Seriously.
It took a lot.
5 kids. I'm like, come on.
It took a lot, and like people don't realize like how and I'm not like bragging, but like how strict I am with my diet. And I don't also like to beat a dead horse about it, like where I keep saying it, but it is true. And I'm like motivated by things like I want my skin to look good. I can't wear makeup, so like I have to have my skin look good. I refuse to do like any skin treatments like Botox or like fillers or whatever as I age. Like I'm not doing it. I refuse because where are those chemicals going? They're going to probably go to my liver and my kidneys and maybe go into fat deposits where are they cancer causing? We don't know. I'm not so
you have to keep getting them and getting them and getting them.
Well, you do and like you have to keep getting them then because once you get them and then like once you get them like other parts of your face then don't look right, so it's like an endless circle. So I'm like I want my skin to look good for a long time, like even in old age, and just because you're gonna age does not mean your skin has to look bad or like really saggy and wrinkly. So that's like a main motivation, and I want to have energy. That's another motivation. I think for women, just or maybe I don't know, is that enough of a motivation for your skin to look good?
Absolutely.
But I guess when we know like you can do these other treatments, like maybe you don't feel as motivated. So, brought along a box of some things here. And then, like, I've been talking about face, but this isn't just about the face. I'm going to set this down. So, I think, like, you should have sun. All of you look like you agree, too. Some people have become, like, so afraid of the sun and, like, put on tons of sunscreen, which... if you don't put any on, you can damage your skin and then it prematurely sags. Like I have sun damage on my hands. If you look, like I can't see my hands. That's a secret.
Oh my
but
God.
I had such bad eczema on my hands for years. Like rashing, itching, like it was horrible. And then from like working at like I worked at a deli and you're just like soaking your hands in bleach, and then I worked at a farm where it was like everything was sprayed, it wasn't organic, and like after all of that my hands just like would be so sensitive to any kind of chemical. But and then playing sports, I would never put sunscreen on my hands. Like, I don't know, I just, like, you would put it on this way, but I didn't put it on the backs of my hands. And so, like, I use a lot of my own moisturizing things, but I have skin damage on my hands, which makes your skin, like, start to sag.
Do you moisturize every night? Or, like, is that for your routine and, like, every morning and stuff?
I don't so much in the winter, even though it is dry.
Okay.
But, like, right now, because I'm in the sun a lot, like I have been, and I probably should moisturize, but like so this is what I moisturize with at the moment. And I kind of vary. This is just pure shea butter.
Okay.
And you don't have to refrigerate it or anything, and I guess I won't have you touch it because I've like been waving my hands all over it, but it's so moisturizing. I've been using it mainly on my hands. This is not anything I make, but I really like it. It's actually a cleansing oil. I bought it to cleanse my face with because every cleanser was like irritating my skin. Like they'd be way too harsh. So I thought like, well, maybe I'll try this. Now, this bothered my face. There are a number of essential oils in here. But what I found is like I really like to use it to moisturize the rest of my body with. I'll just pass that around. I get that at Thrive Market. So anybody know Thrive Market?
No, where is that?
It's online. And if you're interested, I have a link. You can get 40% off your first order. A lot of good deals. Wow. But I like it because there's no really great health food store around here, and I'm not criticizing the ones that are, but they're not they're not like Wyomissing, where we now have Kimberton down there. So when I want certain things and I don't want to drive and spend like 3 hours just to go to the health food store, I order from Thrive. Actually, I'm on like their monthly thing, but I have your email. I'll send you the link. If you want to use it, you can. You just get 40% off.
So link.
So I ordered that, and I use that on my skin, like my legs and my arms and feet. Like, so your feet are important to take care of as well, because like if you have, dried calluses build up, like you do want to rub that off, like get that off, because your feet can actually absorb energy from the earth. If you do foot soaks with herbs, like they'll absorb the herbs, and by letting that like dead skin there, it's just like unhealthy. Like you want to have your feet clean. Probably already do that. But
what herbs do you like soak your feet in if you're gonna do like a foot soak?
I like to do ginger and I like to do turmeric, and then in the winter time, like if I would feel like at all like a cold is coming on, it would be mustard, dried mustard. Dried mustard. Yeah. And so like your feet will just like suck that up, into the body and use it where it's supposed to go.
Cool.
So then I also use like this as a toner. So just witch hazel. This one has cucumber. But I feel like less is, if you want to see that, less is best, at least with like all of your skin. I used to lather my skin when I had eczema, like growing up. And I did what my mom had me do, and I guess she didn't know any different. She did what the doctor told us to do for it. So I would have like thick Eucerin. I don't know if any of you ever used that. And then I had the Cordaid, which was like the steroid cream, and I just used regular soaps, and so most of the stuff that I was putting on my skin, I was actually having topical dermatitis. Like I was putting stuff on my skin that made me itchier, and then I'm like putting it back on my skin because I'm like, I'm itchy, so then I put more on. Now I'm still itchy, but I was really reacting to a lot of the chemicals in the products. So for me now, like less is better, like anything like as pure as possible. You don't, and I mean, I guess if you're not as sensitive as I am, you don't have to be like as strict, but your skin is still going to absorb whatever you're putting on it, whatever soap, and soaps that aren't pure and have like any kind of chemicals or even essential oils that are not like 100% pure, because some brands like just have laboratory made essential oils because they're cheaper. So those cause hormone disruption in the body. They're endocrine disruptors. So you want to just like use as pure as possible on your skin. And I feel like less is best. Like I don't do that much. I do use sunscreen.
What sunscreen do you use, by the way?
Okay, I'm not that picky. When I go to Hornings every year, whatever they have that's like organic and like has nothing, I usually buy a couple bottles and then that lasts until the next year.
As much as you need,
Yeah, but honestly, that's what I do.
Especially with all your kids,
Yeah, well, last year I had gotten the kids, like in the spray bottle, it was the mineral stuff. And my kids were fine. My husband was fine. When I would get the overmist, anywhere I would get the overmist, I would break out into hives, thinking it was for kids. It would be a lot more sensitive.
Yeah.
Because I've been having a lot of issues with that lately with the sunscreens and things like the sprays versus the creams and all of that.
Yeah.
And I can't even use the
I
kids'
use
sunscreen.
because it smells good, and I'm like.
I wish you know what? When I go home, I'll look
Yeah.
at the bottle I have because I have a brand now. I found it at Hornings and then I did buy it at the drugstore. I like it. It's like very natural and with my skin. Like I actually have one that is not as natural. It was like supposed to like make your skin like more bronzy and it like makes me itch. So I don't even use it. But I'll tell you, I'll text you the name of the one I have right now.
I've made my own in ice cube trays with zinc.
I have not made
Really?
my own.
Yeah, and if you want it like light, you just put like 1 teaspoon or 1 tablespoon of zinc oxide. If you want it like heavy, you put like you can go up to 3.
Oh.
So that's why I use them and freeze them in ice cube trays.
Oh, nice.
And then, but they're like really slimy.
Yeah.
So you're like taking this little ice cube.
Aw, that's cool.
But
Yeah.
it doesn't work when you're in the Dominican Republic though.
Yeah.
Because you'll burn. You have to use
Oh my gosh.
50.
Yeah.
It only gets up to like 30,
Okay.
But it's not hard to make.
Okay.
Nice. Yeah, I know some people. I don't always I don't do a lot with beauty products. Like mostly what I'm making is like medicines, but I've had different students who like make the sunscreen and stuff.
I've done
That's
beef
neat.
tallow for your skin too. That's
I do want to do that.
yeah. I mean that's
Yeah.
good. I gave it to my daughter.
I do want to do that.
Oh, and you have a shampoo bar from was it Bruno?
Bruno.
Yeah.
He uses not pure essential oils.
Okay.
Though, and like that bothers me.
Oh,
because of-
gotcha.
and it bothers me because I do all the Zyto scans and I can
Yeah.
see the hormone disruptors
Oh, okay.
show up for people all the time and including myself. So
Gotcha.
I'm
So
not
it's
gonna.
like iffy,
yeah, I don't want to. I don't want to put it on my skin. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But it did work well for my hair.
Okay. That's funny.
I'm like, but I'm not gonna keep using it.
Easy and fun. Aw.
And then the other thing. All right, so sweating. That's like super important. Which you probably already know. Everyone already.
Yeah, I
knows.
was laughing because I forgot deodorant. I was like, Lindsay, I'm gonna hop in the shower.
So important to sweat for your skin to look good. I would say like this was one thing I learned recently. So I dealt with like all this like eczema, rashing stuff, which a lot of it had to do with fungal in my body. The yeast infection stuff was more like a candida that was like systemic. So when you have candida, very often you have skin issues and rashes and eczema. They kind of all go hand in hand. But after COVID, whoops, I usually don't say I'm stopping.